Good afternoon, good evening, good day, RPG Limit Break friendos, and welcome to a fantastic showcase match of the Worlds Collide Final Fantasy VI randomizer featuring two of the best to ever do it in Falcon Hit and Golden Shocker. Going to be one heck of a matchup here, and I could not be happier to be joined in the booth by another legend of the game himself, Gar. How you doing this evening, pal?
I am fantastic. It is good to be back in the commentary booth with my good bud, Possum Morpheus. And just like you said, it's going to be a fantastic race between two titans of the game, both Falcon Hit and Golden Shocker, uh, just absolutely dominating the game. Not really a whole lot that you can say about them. They are just incredible players, and we're going to see a fantastic showcase of skill tonight.
Yeah, and the runners are going to be navigating through Ultros League 7 flags. One of the cool things about this is if you're familiar with the vanilla Final Fantasy VI experience, you're going to be in for quite a treat. Things are going to be flipped on their head, turned inside out. You're going to be able to see Espers with what might seem to you like random abilities. Oh, Ultima on Fenrir? Interesting. You'll see all sorts of things, stat boosts where you wouldn't expect them, skills on characters that you might not expect. Your Celeste has Steel, your Gao has Runic. Could be just about anyone with anything. Gar, what are some of the things you're looking for out of our runners tonight? What can they showcase that might make you a little excited here?
Oh, there's any number of things. Honestly, probably a few too many things to list, but there are a couple of things that I would like to say about the randomizer in general. One thing that I think makes this unique among other randomizers of its kind is that each character is associated with a certain series of checks. So a check in this context is some like lore appropriate place that is tied to that character in a specific way. So, for example, Terra, the character that you start the game off with in the vanilla version, she has a very popular set of checks, one of which is the Imperial Camp, where you pass through in order to get to the Cave of the Espers, where in the vanilla game you try to commune with the Espers and try to get them to fight on your side. Each character has a variable amount of checks. I believe what is the minimum? 3?
One.
One. That's
Go-Go.
right. That's right. It is
Your
Go-Go,
favorite.
Umaro as well. Yeah, I keep forgetting about them because they're terrible. But a lot of the characters, they're more sweet and juicy as far as the checks are concerned. Uh, So one of the other things too is that as part of the randomizer, you kind of learn a lot about the enemy scripts, things that you wouldn't necessarily learn from playing the vanilla game, but in the randomizer, those become a lot more applicable. So one thing that I would like to see is the forbidden reflex strats on Magimaster, if we ever come up onto him. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will explain later if we don't see it, but for now, let's just say like it's kind of cool. It's pretty cool. Things like that.
Yeah, as someone who had to do reflex traps on Magimaster for about 10 minutes the other day, it was thrilling, let me tell you. Uh, but there's a lot to this randomizer. We also see that there's certain objectives that our runners are going to have to complete to fight the big bad final boss. No surprises there. Kefka is going to do Kefka things and going to be in the same old Kefka place. But in order to get to Kefka, you have to hit certain benchmarks. You have to recruit 6 characters, so that would be at least 3 more than the 3 you start with, and you have to find 9 Espers or Magicites. And that is going to be in addition, basically, to the other checks that you might do. In a perfect world, you could get a 12 check unlock. Very unlikely that's going to happen. But that's what our runners are going to strive for, is to get as many checks done that give them progression as possible. But we see them getting started here. We have a Locke, a Celeste, and a Setzer. Lock is going to give access immediately to a free check in the World of Ruin. Setzer gives access to a free check in either World of Ruin or World of Balance, and Celeste gives access to a free check in the World of Balance as well. So our runners are able to start with the airship, go to both worlds immediately, and in this particular character setup, it's pretty nice, honestly, good variety, and they're just going to be able to do all sorts of free checks and kind of go from there.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what kind of goodies that they come up with in this initial loot path here. Like you said, there are a number of free checks that they can do. Those are checks that aren't gated by bosses or anything like that. You can just go and complete them. One of the concepts in this game is that a check does not necessarily reward a progression item. Sometimes they reward like a high tier item. So something big to see here would be something like an experience egg, which would doubles a character's experience, or a big sword like the Illumina or Ragnarok. One of the great things about this starting party is that you've got both Celeste and Locke, who have naturally like very large equip pools. So if we find a big stick, they're going to be able to use it, and that's really, really nice. Setzer can possibly use it. There is a 33% chance for him to be able to equip anything that he couldn't equip in the vanilla game. But unfortunately, with this particular start, we don't have any particularly strong abilities. I see Steel, Sketch, and X Magic. Steel has its uses. Sketch has some very, very niche uses. And X Magic, as long as we find an Esper that teaches a very high magic or high tier magic spell like Fire 3, that'll be a fantastic pickup there.
Yeah, so worth noting so far, things that we have seen in shops. We've seen an offering, we've seen snow mufflers, we have also seen a sniper. So in Narsh, offering and sniper were both available. It's very interesting in a sense because that is kind of a budget endgame build. It's not one you really want, but the sniper has a chance to proc every single time and do bonus damage. And when you're hitting 4 times and having a chance at 4 additional procs, that's not a bad life to be living if that is kind of what you have to do. And these runners are more than capable of pulling off a strategy like that. They're both doing some pretty similar routing as far as that, early Narsh dive and the early Figaro dive, but it looks like Golden Shocker also wants to see, is he going to get anything good here from the Lock weapon check? And it is just going to be a Flame Shield or Force Shield. Unsurprisingly, takes the Flame Shield because that can teach Fire too. If nothing else, that is some early offense that we don't otherwise have. But we see Falcon Head also pick up an Ice Shield as a piece of loot. So that kind of evens out that playing field.
Yeah, and I totally expect Falcon Head to go and check that, grab his Flame Shield as well. So starting off pretty strong here with some elemental protection. One thing that is going to be on both runners' minds is if there is an Esper that teaches the Merton spell. Oh, how about an Experience Egg? Yeah, never mind what I just said. That egg is huge. EXP egg very early on is, I think, the best thing that you could possibly get. Levels in Worlds Collide or in Final Fantasy VI in general, levels are king. You want to get as many of them as possible because all of your damage is in some way based on that. So being able to double your experience from the get-go means that we're going to have some very, very, very powerful characters here. Falcon Head has not gone to Returner's Hideout yet, has not seen it, so we'll see if he goes there. He does pick up the Fenrir Esper from the basement. That is going to be a very valuable Esper to have at the end of the game, and we'll talk about that more as we come up towards that.
Yeah, and another thing about the particular location that the egg popped out of, going around the Worlds Collide community right now, eggs in Returner's Hideout is kind of becoming a thing. It should in no reason be a thing. It just happens to have recently been a thing. So thank you, Randomizer. I wonder if Golden Shocker perhaps impacted by that and choosing to loot Returner's Hideout when he knows he's going to be looting the basement for Celeste as well. Because normally runners will try to cut down on what they're looting, especially given the caliber of these runners. Looks like Golden Shocker, I believe, is passing up on that Ice Shield, not shopping, or maybe just doing a little bit of looting here, but doesn't have that ice shield yet, so may miss out on that. Won't really impact too much in the long run unless Merton becomes readily available, but definitely an interesting bit of divergence there, and could potentially be a pain point if ice is needed, or if there's something that we would like to heal from an enemy's ice spell. Both runners do have a wing edge, which is a fantastic weapon as well. It gives bonus 7 strength or vigor in this game, which is great. And we see that the Zen Thief, which is another free check available early on, has a 15,000 cost Esper. You're going to sell as much as you can to buy that. It's just a matter of what you're going to part with. And it looks like Falcon Hit says, I am parting with the Elixir, which is fine. Elixirs are aplenty in this game, generally speaking.
Oh yeah, 100%. Worth noting that Falcon did not go to returners. He may still go, but just judging on his current loot path, he might not. So this could potentially be kind of disastrous over the long run for him. Golden Shocker is going to get a lot more levels, and we see him taking a grind fight, just a magic urn. This is not the fight that you want.
I actually disagree with that. I think this is a lovely first fight because we have a flame shield. This will teach Fire 2 to somebody right away. I think that's huge. Personally, this is a wonderful first fight in my book, but it doesn't have XP. It only gives those magic points. So it just depends what your perspective is on it as to whether you think it's going to be, good or bad for what you are doing. But pick up Fire 2, haste, poison, and not a ton of bad stuff there. Like that flame shield with Fire 2 gonna do work. So gonna leave encounters on, it looks like, for Golden Shocker as well. And that's the XP fight if we live.
Yeah, that's a scary one. I kind of don't like his odds here, but it's not nothing. So the problem with learning the tier 2 spells right now is that you don't have the MP to cast them. And when you get into fights like this, which are potentially very, very dangerous, you could sit here in this fight for potentially quite a while. Meteor comes out from Sketch. This is one of the more useful applications of Sketch that you could have, but only a couple hundred damage there. And like the Great Behemoths and the Evil Oscars have, I want to say a couple thousand at this point. So
I think the Behemoth is probably looking at about 1,500. The Evil Oscar is probably only about 700 or 800, I would think. They're nowhere near as strong, but these Haymakers are going to be, well, I guess not a potential issue. He doesn't have all that much, but definitely a spooky situation here. You do not want to leave the Evil Oscar alone, though, because it will use effectively bad breath, and that is a very bad time for our runners right now. We do get a wing edge proc there, which is good. So now it's just going to be, sketching meteors and hoping that the Behemoth itself doesn't meteor us, because I think that it can do that when left alone, which is also a little spooky.
One of the other things, too, that I meant to point out earlier was that I don't know if you've seen this Fenrir Esper, but it's kind of cracked. It has the HP plus 100% bonus attached to it. So every time you get a level, the HP that you get is basically going to be doubled from that. That matters because of a weapon that Locke can equip called the Valiant Knife. The Valiant Knife does more damage the lower the HP, does more damage the lower the user's HP is. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. So getting basically double your HP is going to be very, very, very nice, but it also has Fire 3 on it, which is one of the best spells in the whole game, just because of how quick it is and how many enemies wind up being soft to fire damage.
Yeah, fire is a very prevalent weakness in this. I find that, fire is incredibly common to be a weakness, whereas things like ice and thunder are less so. So anything that's fire-based tends to be very, very high-powered as far as what you can do with it. We did see Golden Shocker got through that fight. His Locke is level 14. His other two characters are level 11. That is a huge boon level-wise. And with an HP 100 Esper, if a VK shows up, the gulf of HP and power that egg is going to give Golden Shocker versus Falcon Hit is going to be huge. That said, Falcon Hit is effectively up an entire Phoenix Cave check at this point, and that is not a short check. It is not incentivized. There are incentivized checks in this that guarantee progression, but this does give an Esper, so Falcon Hit going to be at 4 Espers, 3 characters, but he is only level 3, so he needs to think about some way to get his levels now, because if he does any more acquisition of progression, whether it be characters or Espers, he may have a difficult time getting the party started.
Yeah, getting off of level 3 is like the single best thing that you could possibly do, just because you are so weak at level 3 in most circumstances. And this is one of those circumstances. If you had some ability like throw or magitech, something that could get you, that does reliable damage, maybe you can make an argument otherwise. But here, Falcon Hit's done. Here he's gotten 4 Espers?
4 Espers, one of which has Bolt 3, one has Fire 3.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff. And he also goes back and buys an offering, too. And an earring. I think he wants another earring, which makes sense. We're looking at some big spells. Even though we have the big spells and we have things like that, Falcon Hit is still, he's got to get off of level 3. So Golden Shocker is taking a much different approach here. He just beat up a Behemoth. Now he's going to get Behemoth's dad and go after that. X Magic Fire 2 going to do some work here. Looks like we have Fire 3 on Celeste as well that we can toss in. Could even throw in W Wind in the second phase of this fight here, since you can instant death the Senor Behemoth phase 2, which is pretty awesome. And thank you to the Owl's Nest for raiding in. Appreciate it, and hope y'all enjoy the Worlds Collide randomizer happening right now.
Yeah, thank you very much for the raid. So here we see Falcon Hit going for the Offering Wing Edge combo. Offering is kind of a weird relic in that a lot of the procs don't work with it, but some of them do, and the Wing Edge is one of the ones that does, because it's basically a replacement effect where 25% of the time you get an instant death proc. So I do like this strat, and I think it's probably why Falcon Hit decided to scale up as much as he did. And that's probably one thing that I should make mention of, is the idea of scaling in this game. So if you're familiar with something like Free Enterprise, the Final Fantasy IV randomizer, each spot, like each physical location in the game, has a certain like HP value tied to it, regardless of what the boss is. In Worlds Collide, it's a little bit different. Basically, we have a scaling factor, and each check that rewards progression, at least in this set of flags, each one of those will increase the scaling just a little bit. So basically the idea is that throughout the entire game, enemies are some kind of challenge. Now, there's gear combinations that essentially nullify all of that, but the idea is that you get, like, enemies basically try to keep pace with you. So
yeah, and the enemies keeping pace with you is why we see Falcon Hit doing some more grinding here, while Golden Shocker, because he spiked that one really nice encounter, he's kind of off to the races. Falcon Hit also has had some terrible luck with his Wing Edge procs. I think he was 2 for about 30 in that fight with the bogeys, while Celeste was just getting punched repeatedly. So that was not ideal. We see Golden Shocker, he was able to get through Senor Behemoth. He got a Wing Edge proc while doing a single attack on the second phase, but now is greeted with a rather rude Funbaba. Not going to be particularly dangerous, but is going to deal a ton of lightning damage, and I think that's the one shield we haven't seen. Celeste with Fire 3, though, should be able to do quite a number, but this is not a fun fight, just a very thick boss, and also doesn't reward anything in the way of magic points, which is a little bit awkward.
Yeah, you really want the magic points here. The experience is pretty nice, but yeah, Funbaba's just like a giant green pile of hit points, and really, this is one of the bosses you would rather see later over sooner. That being said, he should be able to get through this okay, as long as he stops countering everything with Bolt 2. But you can already see Locke there, 892 hit points. That's just the power of the neg, plus that HP plus 100 Esper, and it's only going to get worse. Better?
That Bolt Edge coming out, I think, tells me Funbaba is close to disappearing off of Golden Chakra's screen here. The problem is anyone else going to be alive for it? And that AoE
that is a
says
wipe.
no. And that's the fear of a Funbaba, is like, it's not a lot of damage, but when it gets aggressive, it's enough. We did see Golden Chakra was doing about 600 damage with his single attack Wing Edge. We're only getting about 400 from Falcon Hit's attack with the Offering Wing Edge combo. So big level difference already coming into play. That's also in part because of the Offering. You know, the Offering cutting that damage in half, but guaranteeing the hit and allowing you to attack 4 times. So those levels are still in play. Golden Chakra not going to be particularly thrilled about taking that wipe. You never are. But he's going to go try to play with a dragon, get some more levels, maybe try to find a big stick. There's a lot of things that can be used by this party. And I don't know if we touched on it yet or not, but the Setzer inclusion is actually really interesting with this party, because it puts the last major offering thing on the table, which is fixed ice. Do you want to rely on it? No. But it would be our best offense at the moment, even over the level 3 spells, quite likely.
I think so. The red dragon is probably the single dragon that you don't want to see here, because your entire party offense relies on Fire 3. So I think that this is probably worth a reset. If you had the ice... Oh, he has an ice rod, so that's not nothing, but I don't think that this by itself is going to be enough to get him through.
It's a lot, though.
It is a fair amount. This dragon probably has around 5,000 HP.
I think with just some Wing Edge attacks, he'll be able to get through this. And maybe even, blows the Thunder Rod as well. I don't hate that.
There's no reason to hold on to this, so...
Yeah, we also know there's a Bolt 3 Esper out there. I don't know if Golden Chakra has it, but this is a big difference of not having that Ice Shield. As Golden Chakra does get through that dragon, that Ice Shield would have made this fight basically free, because we would have learned some Ice 2 along the way. And it wouldn't have been quite the scramble. But that's a great use of resources there. And this is scary on Falcon Hit's side. Stone came out.
Stone is the worst ability in the game. I don't know how many times I've wiped to a full party Stone, but it is just miserable. And yeah, we just see right now Golden Chakra basically off to the races, picks up a Minerva for his trouble. So not going to worry about any kind of elemental damage at all for the rest of this run, really. And we're not even 20 minutes into it, so very nice for him. And meanwhile, Falcon Hit just kind of stuck on the first phase of Senior Behemoth here. Should be done with this pretty soon, I think, and then the Quad Wing Edge will have a chance to dispatch the second phase, but just losing a lot of time. And Golden Chakra has offense going, has that defense, so really can just blow through the remainder of these checks and just get to the end here.
Falcon Hit showing us once again that despite how good you may be at a video game, if RNG is not on your side, you're going to have a bad day. He gets no procs on his Wing Edge there, and then his lock gets put to sleep on top of it. So Falcon Hit just not getting what he wants to go with this, and hopefully we get a Wing Edge proc on this set. It is 25%. That's 8 hits now.
Yeah, but this is like
procced.
This is Worlds Collide math. Illumina has a 25% chance to proc Pearl, but it'll only do it against Atma or against Goddess. So
Goddess, yeah. There we go. 12 times a charm. That's how that goes, right?
Okay, so we see Phoenix here. And guarded by Guardian. Again, don't think this is going to be too much of an issue for Golden Shocker. It does mean that we are rapidly starting to run out of places for our characters to be. I think the only things that we haven't seen yet are the Opera House, which is a long check and not the most ideal one to do. You've got the Magitech facility, where a character can only be at that third spot. And then you've got Kefka and Narsh. And I would love to see Falcon head up to Kefka and Narsh. I'd like just jam it right now and see if her character's there. But he did not pick up his lock check yet, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if he's gonna pick up the lock check and maybe even think about a dragon, or maybe even think about the paladin shield, which starts as a curse shield. That flame shield, though, he's gonna take. He has an ice shield. He has a bolt 3 Esper. He has a fire 3 Esper. I don't know if he's got the ice 3 Esper yet. He might have just picked it up. Looks like he says, no, I don't care about the potential paladin shield. I'm good. And away he goes from Narsh. So I'm interested to see where Falcon Hit goes next. Golden Shocker getting entwined. That is the worst ability from Silly Guardian. Just a really mean one, slowing down the entire party. Not a fan. The Guardian is another chunky boss. So we have this Fumbaba, we have Guardian. Like just a lot of heft on these early bosses. And not the big sticks and strong power that you'd want to go with it. Falcon Hit gonna try to get through this Fumbaba, but this is gonna be rough for him as well.
I'm a little surprised that Falcon Hit hasn't taken a peek at the Coliseum yet. Mm-hmm. His lock is set up really, really well for it. So I'm thinking that he's gonna make a trip there, because if you wind up picking up, I think probably a VK is the best thing that you could find there, but Atma weapons, Ragnarok's offerings, fixed dice would be great. But just something to kind of get started here. Golden Shocker, out of Daryl's tomb there, so he's just going to keep on trucking, and he's already gotten through. Well, he didn't get through Fumbaba, but he got through Guardian, and so like the world really is his oyster now.
I wonder if we're going to get a dragon check from Golden Shocker, if this is just a heal stop, because he's a little low on sleeping bags. I think he's down to like 16 already. Looks like we are going to make the ascent here. I think that Golden Shocker is going to fight a few more dragons than those who are familiar with him might expect, and there's some reasons for that. One is we don't have a big stick yet. Two is we have an offering available, but we don't have a Valiant Knife or an Atma weapon. Golden Shocker saying, can I get through this seed with Fire 3? Yes. Do I want to get through this seed with Fire 3 with a party that can equip just about darn near everything? No. Let me play the Dragon Lottery and see if we can, win big, hit the jackpot, if you will. I think that's what this play is from him, and I personally don't hate it. You spend a couple minutes now, you get a couple pieces of progression, or at least some levels, if nothing else, and a chance at really having a force multiplier come your way in the form of a big stick.
I don't hate it, but I think the counter argument here is that you really want a fourth character before you go in here, just to maximize the 50 MP that the Storm Dragon will give you. Now, if he gets a big stick here, then I think he's just better off in general. Falcon Hit picks up a Genji Glove, so we could go for the Octo Sniper. It is not the best offense, but it is the funniest offense, and it is effective, especially if we get a Rager with the Stray Cat Rage who can equip that, because that is probably the single best source of offense that you could get.
Honestly, even that bogey that they found earlier is a 1.5 multiplier. You just rage bogey, and at worst you're doing normal attacks, and at best it's 1.5 damage. Like,
I think it's 2. I think
is it 2 for bogey? Okay.
But those weren't bogeys; those were Ralphs.
Oh, okay. I thought it was bogeys he found. My bad.
Yeah,
same sprite, different name.
Yeah, they're all dogs, and I know how much you hate dogs.
No, I love dogs. I just don't pet them.
No, you just hate that particular one. So
Yeah,
Uh,
why does it show up 6 different times? It's like it's
why not?
spooky. It's a horror movie just in time for Halloween. Scary.
So, unfortunately, oh goodness. Unfortunately, not a lot there from that dragon. I think that was a force shield that he picked up, and finds a goddess at the top of the cliff. Um, this is doable. It's not the fastest. You can steal a Minerva as well. It looks like the Golden Chakra is going to attempt that. But you see that Ice 3 there, just 800 damage, and then about 2,000 from Celeste. Not great. Goddess has a ton of magic defense, and so this is going to take a little while to get through. Locke has a better chance with physical attacks. The problem with that is that she can counter with something called Love Token. And what Love Token does is any physical attack made against a goddess, a Love Token character will block that attack.
Yeah, that being said, there are still many a time where I'm like, well, it's time to attack Goddess. And then when we get Love Token, it's time to off that character, bring him back, and have him attack again.
So sometimes.
And we've gotten 2 attacks off Locke with no Love Token so far, so actually quite fortunate for Golden Shocker. Better lucky and good, as I always say. So yeah, Golden Shocker kind of off to the races there. Gets through that Goddess a lot faster than I honestly was expecting. Figured that was going to take a hot second. That's yet another very thick endgame boss, though. Lots of heft still showing up in this seed early on. But it was a dragon with a force shield and then an Esper. This one is Zone Seek. That does what? Cast Shell on the party, I think. Has some niche fringe uses in the final Kefka fight. But overall, I mean, that was a ton of levels for Golden Shocker and 100 magic points on his characters already in his party. To your point, it doesn't go towards a 4th party member, but these are 3 good enough party members, and we are getting a Coliseum check, but not from the person you thought it was going to be from.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at this. I see Hero Ring, Econ, Cat Hood. Golden Chakra says, nah, I'm okay. And I mean, I agree with that.
Yeah, the Econ's the only... I mean, the Econ and the Hero Ring, to your point, like, that's kind of it. The rest of it is... It is what it is. They're items. Hero Ring is nice because it's both physical and magical damage boosted by 25%. It's basically an Atlas Armlet plus an earring. And then the Economizer just makes magic cost 1. Looks like Golden Chakra has decided it is time to go buy that offering. He has 1,000 gold. That is not going to cut it, but that Excalibur comes out. That gets sold, and I was wrong. It's not offering time. It is buy 4 earrings time. So Golden Chakra not committing to the offering bit quite yet, not believing in the power that is Sniper offering or Wing Edge offering with a very high level lock quite yet. Might also end up giving us a Kefka and Narsh peak here because, as you stated, we are down to 3 locations that could possibly have a character. Kefka and Narsh, the end of Magitech Factory, and Opera House. Kefka and Narsh is unironically the fastest of those 3 checks because you can peek it and just reset out without having to fight anything on the way.
So here's a question for you, Possum. Let's say you go up here and you see a merchant sprite, not a character. Do you fight or do you just reset and go elsewhere?
Oh, I reset as fast as you can possibly reset because in Golden Chakra Shoes, I'm already at 6 Espers. The likelihood of me chaining 3 characters and finding no more Espers, especially considering I have Magitech Factory available with 2 non-character checks to start it out, I can't imagine a world where I'm struggling to get Espers. So if this is not a character, I am noping out. Golden Chakra disagrees. He's going to take this and at least maybe see the boss, and if it's not something completely awful, take it on.
Yeah, I mean, here, if you fight like a Vargas or not a Fumbaba, the Dataluma. Geez, I couldn't think of that. And maybe he coughs up an Illumina. That would be probably a net benefit here for Golden Chakra, but
yeah, it looks like we are going to get the skip here.
Very
And there
nice.
is a very well executed skip by
Oh
Golden
no!
Shocker. We learned Berserk for somebody at. But I don't.
It looks
Maybe
like
that
he
was
is
on
just going to
Falcon his
reset.
side.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that absolutely makes sense. You don't want to do that fight with two people.
Yeah. Here's the cool thing about that fight, though. Now you know it's not anywhere else. So
Oh
you
yeah,
just
now you're just like, I think the only thing you really have to worry about right now is Doomgaze,
yeah.
and beyond that, you're smooth sailing.
But here's the cool thing about Doomgaze. You got an egg.
You
You're
do have an egg.
probably not losing all 4 party members due to math class.
I have had that happen once. My party was 35, except for my egg character, who was 45.
Well,
So it is not impossible, but yeah, it is very, very rare. Plus, you've got Fire 3, and even though Doomgaze has NHL, it still trucks.
yeah, absolutely. And we are going to find out, and find out relatively soon, where our 4th character is. Falcon Hit taking the shorter fight.
Ooh.
Imagine buying an offering in this economy.
What a fool.
So Katana Soul would have given an offering and also given roughly 50,000 gold probably by this stage.
Oh, this is a really crappy set of encounters, though. It's either Katana Souls, which are great, but don't give you anything as far as experience, or Vaporites, which are, like, right at the start of the game enemies and don't give you anything.
Oh, Ogre Marshall. Well, this is a terrible fight as well.
Yeah, this is also dangerous. Once you get rid of the Ogres, it's fine, but Zombite, if you don't block it,
here we go.
Oh, here it comes.
Yep. Oh, okay. Clown Fiesta time. 1 down, but this is spooky. Fire 3, we have decided that our party is who we should target. Yeah, Zombite is real interesting. So these Ogres in the vanilla game, I believe, appear in one singular room in Gogo's cave.
I think you're right.
Nowhere else in the game, but because they exist in vanilla, they are just as likely to appear as basically anything else. And so, yeah, we are blessed by Ogres showing up and just doing Ogre things. And the things that they do, well, you saw it. The Zombite is incredibly scary. We do see Falcon Hit does take out one of the Katana Souls there, because I don't think he had a way out. He has Warp Stones, I guess, but gets some money there. We'll see if this is, in fact, the character once he gets through the boss. Golden Shocker gets another Magicite. Not too unexpected, because you can't get characters at these checks, but that's going to push him to 3 and 7. Only needs 2 Espers. Still needs 3 characters, but that is still a lot of progression, including the 2 dragons that he's been able to get through. That egg definitely has benefited him quite a lot, as we see that Locke is 7 levels ahead of Celeste and 11 levels ahead of Setzer. So really pushing the pace there.
An easy boss here for Falcon Hit. Tunnel Armor, probably my favorite, poses virtually no challenge to the party, and also coughs up an elixir once you kill him, which is very, very cool. One thing I should probably mention about the Marshall fight too is that in the vanilla game, he normally comes with a pair of Lobos. We decided that that was a little bit too easy, so we shuffled around the enemies that can possibly spawn with him, and most of them are pretty bad. He can come with T-Rexes. He can come with the Madam enemies. Well, it's a character.
I have to chuckle because I know how much I love Gogo, and I know how much you hate Gogo. And it looks like Falcon Hit is immediately going to use this party screen to set up to do the Gogo check. So what he's doing here is he's going immediately down to 1 character, because that is the quickest way to get engulfed and just go right through. And because he's also taken out Search the Skies, he can just fly through willy-nilly in the World of Ruin and not worry about Funbaba jumping his 1 party member. So this is a nice usage, a little bit of a time save on Falcon Hit's side. And we'll see how fortunate he is getting through this go-go check.
Yeah, so getting the instant engulf too, that's pretty nice. But unfortunately, the real way through is going to be across these series of bridges, and the bridge trolls here, well, you can either get through them instantly or you can wait 5 minutes, and there's no in between.
Yeah, I mean, you can try to get sneaky with some menu buffering. That would have been a perfect time to do it, actually. So where
Yep.
Falcon Hit was on that bridge, as soon as you jump up there, you can go right into your menu, and then you just kind of hope that the leprechaun isn't going to punch you. Because from that position, you're probably getting punted anyway. So if you can go into your menu and then pop out of it real quick, you sometimes can not manipulate the game, but kind of mess with it a little bit in the background. And you can just then have kind of that buffer. So Falcon Hit got bopped again, unfortunately, and this is just what those bridge trolls do. While Golden Shocker is going through and fighting some enemies, these goblins he is not casting magic against because I think they have Reflect. Is that correct?
No, they have like 245 magic defense though, so only physical defenses are going to work. Falcon Hit getting through. We'll see if he saves here. Looks like he is going to take the opportunity. If he gets crushed by the ceiling, that would be pretty bad. Speaking of things that are pretty bad, how about Poltergeist?
With Shrapnel to open. Well, that was a pretty tame Shrapnel. Unfortunately, we don't have Stop, I don't think. We have X-Magic Bio, which is actually quite good. We have Bio on Celeste as well. So this is just going to be a lot of poison cast or bio cast, as it were. The one element, I believe, that he is weak to, so we now know that Gogo's check is dead. So Gogo is not the answer, so that means that Magitech Factory has the keys to the kingdom. That is just going to push Golden Shocker even further ahead. That is quite unfortunate for Falcon Hit.
Yeah, I am not looking forward to Falcon Hit getting through this Poltergeist fight. Golden Shocker, he's not exactly going to struggle. Yeah, but it is just going to take him a little bit because he just, Poltergeist is pretty beefy. But Falcon Hit, he does have Gogo, who isn't nothing. Mimicking X-Magic casts is actually a pretty economical use of his time. It's just that his stats are just so bad that you're better off just using him to weight trick than actually do damage most of the time.
And I'm glad you brought that up, actually. I don't think we've said the word weight trick yet. Weight tricking is an enormous part of Final Fantasy VI because it has, well, real ATB. There's a lot of video games that, well, don't. So you have a situation here where you want to make sure you are in your menu while someone else is taking an action. Because what that allows you to do is basically freeze time. So you execute that action, and then you don't have to worry about the enemy's ATB filling while you are performing an action. So with an enemy like Poltergeist in particular, since it has auto haste, that's even doubly important. The counter to that, though, is Golden Shocker just wants his characters who are doing things to be able to do things, and that's Locke and Celeste. So he does get through, did some weight tricking there, not a ton, but was able to get through that Poltergeist courtesy of a lot of bios. Falcon Hit says, no, I'm good. That's not a character, I'm out, and I believe now knows he has to go to Magitech Factory.
Yeah,
Golden Shocker
else.
Not saving after this Poltergeist. I love it. And Terra is the reward.
That's
Ooh,
big.
baby.
So the real question is, do you loot the Imperial camp?
Yes.
And I think also the answer is yes. The possibility of spiking an Illumina or any big sword is just way, way too high at this point.
Like 90% of the time, maybe north of 90% of the time with these levels and what's going on, my answer to that is unequivocally no. But we're rocking like Wing Edge Lock.
Yeah, like it's not it's not great.
Like, this legitimately is getting dangerously close to that sniper offering territory. And, Golden Shocker knows they're there. He knows he can go buy that. And Locke would do a lot of damage with an egg, a sniper, and an offering long term.
Oh
but
yeah.
you don't want to have to do that.
You
So
would much rather give him a VK or an Atmo weapon. Atmo weapon would be fantastic to see here as well. We do apologize for the poison walking. That's just going to happen here for the next little bit.
I don't apologize for it. I love it. Just put on your sniper sights that Golden Shocker just looted. I honestly think he might have miswalked a tiny bit there.
Wow, so basically nothing in that basement. The gauntlet is pretty cool, especially if we see an Illumina pop up later. But my goodness,
Gauntlet Wing Edge, let's go.
I don't think that works. Possum.
Okay, Locke is a zombie on Falcon Hit side. That is not ideal.
And Golden Chakra just going to run through the cave here, not going to bother to pick up anything other than this chest here because it's free. And just some fruit for his efforts. Not a pineapple, though.
Oh, what a shame. All right, can we get some Wing Edge procs on Falcon Hit side? No.
Absolutely not.
Sometimes the game just says, you know, you might be one of the goats, but not today.
I think also one thing I should probably point out is that Golden Shocker has a magic Esper, like an Esper that gives magic upon level up, and I think has kept that on Celeste the whole time. Her Fire 3s against Hydon hit for north of 9,000.
Yeah, I think we had a magic Esper and a strength Esper very early on, or at least Falcon Hit it. I don't know if Golden Shocker had the strength Esper.
Yeah.
But you were saying about the Fire 3s, apologies.
Oh, no. So Magic is a very, very, very good stat to level up, just in general. The reasons for that are, one, spells are just very, very powerful. Two, there's a lot of relic support for it, mostly in the form of earrings. And three, especially in like this seed in particular, it looks like we're basically just going to rely on magic the whole time. And so getting that up to be as big as possible is of paramount importance.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like we were able to slap a random Aura Lance on Terra, which is pretty neat. That is going to give her quite a few stats, and if nothing else, it's, you know, it's a bad magic stat stick, but it's still a stat stick, and that's important. You need those stats to be able to deal more damage. We're going to do the Welk check here, and that is going to show us not a character, but it's a pretty quick check. Kefka in Narsh.
If we kill him, we win. So yeah, Kefka not going to do a whole lot of anything here. It's going to run away. Golden Chakra can pick up the Force Shield here, and he probably will because that adds to his check count. And I suppose that now we should probably talk about why the checks are important.
Yeah, so check count is important because we talked about early on the potential of finding 3 characters and 9 Espers and having a 12 check route to Kefka and just kind of hitting every progression point. However, that has not happened in this seed. So there are basically a set of backdoors, if you will, where you can get the skip to go fight Kefka and not have to walk through the entire tower. The different things that you can do is either get 9 characters, which is not happening in this seed, 12 Espers, which might happen, but probably not, or 22 checks. So all 3 of those can be met. Only one of the 3 has to be met, and then you're able to kind of proceed on. And we do have a question from chat as far as what the folks on stream are playing. How can I play what these gentlemen are playing against some friendly players? It's a fantastic question. They are playing Ultros League flags, and this is the same flag set that is going to be used in the upcoming season for Ultros League, and that is Season 7. So if you would like to join, if you think this is fun, hop into the Worlds Collide Discord. Come check out the Ultros League itself. You can compete. There are tiers, so you won't have to go against these two runners who are exceptionally good. You will be against runners of your own skill caliber. I was in the lowest divisions, but 2 seasons ago. So it is one of those situations where you kind of level up as you go. You get better at the game, you learn more, and kind of go from there. And you just hope that you don't turn into the human version of Umaro, who Golden Chakra has just found.
Yeah, so if you want to play FF6 Worlds Collide, and I highly recommend that you do, it's a fun game, head on over to ff6worldscollide.com. You will find links to our Discord there. You will find links to our wiki there, which has a ton, a veritable trove of valuable information that I personally would not have, without that information, I would not have gotten as good at the game as I was. I don't know. I'm a little bit rusty. I haven't played in a little bit, so. But yeah, head on over, ff6worldscollide.com. Now is a fantastic time to join. We do have the new season of Ultros League starting up this Sunday. And so there's going to be a lot of activity around, and a lot of streams going on. Golden Chakra petting the dog, automatically winning the seed. Congratulations to him. 46 minutes and 37 seconds there.
Yeah, I don't think he's won yet. He has beaten both Kefka and Pet a Dog, though, so he's definitely ticking all of the boxes to air quote win the seed instead of just winning the seed. That said, he did pick up Umaro. Umaro is an interesting character because it's a singular check in this case, much like Gogo is as well on Falcon Hit's side. He already did the Tritox spot and the dragon that was up there, so he's not going after this Umaro. And part of that may also be, and I didn't catch it if this was the case, was there a character at the kind of hidey hole, if you will, as you're running up into Narsh? My assumption has to be no, because otherwise Golden Chakra would be doing that. So this could be Let River, this could be Mount Zozo. I think those are the only 2 checks we have left, right?
For Golden Chakra, he has not done Opera, so in theory, he could go there after this and go and pick up his Go-Go if this winds up not being a character. Otherwise, he could go down the Leet River. Everyone loves a good whitewater rafting adventure. But it is a very long check and probably not the most ideal thing that you want to do. So, and then it's just Vargas up here with his pair of Apple inventions.
And yeah, this would normally be in the vanilla game Dataluma, so I'm going to say that Dataluma leveled up because Vargas is ever so slightly more dangerous, but they're both just complete pushovers. Golden Chakra going to just really move on from this fight. Vargas is a giant pool of HP, but really nothing more than that. And yeah. There goes Vargas. And on Falcon Hit's side, he is through the Magitech factory, got through that Poltergeist. We saw a Bahamut come out to do it. So Falcon Hit's going to decide where he wants to go, and looks like Sealed Gate is his choice as well. We'll see if we get a looting of the saddest basement that we've seen in some time from Falcon Hit as well. Just Magicite on Golden Chakra's side. So yeah, that's either Let River or the Opera House. I hope Golden Chakra goes Let River. That would be fantastic.
I hope so too. It looks like he's going to take another peek at Narsh, though. I'm not
he's going to do Yeti.
Is he going to attempt to get the skip? Is my thing, because he's been up here in the world of balance, so he knows that there isn't a thing in the Yeti cave.
Does he know, or did he even look? Because I know that I've done that a ton of times where it's like I didn't even pay attention.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, well, I don't know, and now I have a character, and I guess we're gonna do the thing now. And that could be where we're at. You never know. Uh, Drinks Glue, our lovely restreamer, letting us know that we're at 17 checks on Golden Shocker side already, so 22 checks is not that unreasonable, given that he could do this check, middle of Kefka's Tower, and then any two other checks beyond that. Granted, the checks that we have available are not particularly lovely at the moment, but those three that we've mentioned would be just fine, and we'll see how he handles it. Falcon Hit, meanwhile, going through this sealed gate, going to be rewarded with what I believe was an Esper here, and then likely going to either peak Mobliz, or go through and likely do the Welk check as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he's just going to follow in Golden Shocker's footsteps here. Golden Shocker is going to pick up an 11th Magicite, so we'll only need one more in order to get the skip on that front.
Yeah, maybe looking for like an Esper to Cure 2 or Cure 3. I don't know what our healing situation is, to be quite honest.
I am not sure either. I haven't seen Cure 3 or 2. I think I've seen Life 3, which is technically a heal spell, just not a good one.
Yeah, it's not what I want to rely on for healing. Life 2, I would be happy with, but I don't think we've seen that either.
No, so maybe we just go and buy like a whole Phoenix worth of down.
Oh, we do see it.
Okay, Falcon Hit getting the snipers. That is a much worse buy for Falcon Hit than it is for Golden Shocker, just because, like, you look at Golden Shocker's lock, it's 47. That's a lot. That, like, you do some respectable damage, even with some otherwise lower tier weapons.
Oh, and Falcon Hit saying no to the offering for the time being, actually, on this lock. He's just going Genji Glove double sniper. So for now, at least, not rocking the Octo Sniper, which is probably the better play, given how things have gone with his sniper luck anyway. And this is a fight where he's going to be just fine, regardless of what he does. Golden Shocker, meanwhile, is making the play. This is probably, maybe not for everyone, but this is like one of the community's least favorite checks, because
it's just
it
so
is
long.
just brutal.
It's so long, and if you get encounters like this, it's like, I would say that if you had some really EXP dense encounters here, like, that it's not the end of the world, because Golden Shocker just gets even more levels.
Like this?
Oh, well,
Huh.
like, just, yeah, never mind what I was saying. So Gigantos is the single most EXP dense enemy in the game. So we're gonna have like a level 50-something lock coming out of here. 32,000 experience, doubled to 64 on lock. And the rest of the encounters here are Gigantoses.
Yeah.
So
get your Doomcast out.
What a beautiful end to this. Now, as you can tell, though, the problem is that Gigantos hurts. He hurts a lot.
Yeah. If we have a tent, though, this would be a great time to tent for Golden Shocker. Save a Phoenix down, save a couple sleeping bags.
Yeah, 100%.
Get that Setzer back, get everyone healed. Yeah, he does use a tent. I like that play. It's just super awkward otherwise. And does have instant death, but is opting to just fire 3 as well. And yeah, this lock is going to be obscene. I would love to see Golden Shocker go back and buy something for this lock to do that's not just single wing edge at this point, because he's going to be absolutely nasty.
Yeah. So opting to cast Doom here. I would say that Fire 3 is probably just better, because Gigantus has no magic defense, and Doom can miss, Fire 3 cannot.
True.
So,
Oh, Terra learned life too. So there we go. Our healing problem is solved.
is that a Natty Magic Terra? I wasn't really looking.
I don't know if it was Natty Magic. It might have been a random Esper. Golden Shocker is notorious, and I mean notorious in a good way here, of just kind of pushing and doing not the bare minimum on his healing and his Esper management, but part of why he is so fast and so good is he does not spend time in the menu. So he focused early on things like Fire 3 for everyone, but probably didn't even care about Life 2 until we're kind of at the very end.
Yeah.
And, I don't hate that.
Let's get the proc! Oh.
Oh? Oh.
Oh, darn. Okay, so sometimes if you're lucky enough, you can kill Narapa before all these condemns come out and save a good chunk of time. Unfortunately, not the case today, but...
Yeah, but gonna get through this Narapa, no problem. Very low HP overall. Couple of swings and through. Meanwhile, Falcon Hit does get through Mount Zozo as well. So I believe Falcon Hit is just going to be down this Let River, which, is a fair bit of time, but is also up the Opera House. That egg, though, really looming large. Cyan shows up. That's a lot of very easy checks.
Yeah, I would be sorely tempted to go ahead and do Doma right now. At 6'11", like...
Oh, Funbaba time. Interesting.
Okay, so he's looking for the Esper here. Will not get it, unfortunately, but is going to have a much easier time with this Funbaba than he did earlier on.
Well, the other reason to go after this Funbaba is it's just more XP. This Funbaba is a high-end XP fight, so this is going to give a lot of XP to that Locke, who's just going to keep going up and up and up in his level with that XP egg. So I don't hate this at all from Golden Shocker's side. No. Getting through this. Falcon Hit, meanwhile, is going to pick up his Go-Go here, or excuse me, his Umaro. So this actually will be Go mode for Falcon Hit. I don't know what his check count is, but all of a sudden, our runners are going to be very close. And so it looks like we're at 20 for Golden Shocker, 18 after this for Falcon Hit. So Golden Shocker is a couple of checks ahead, but there are some things still to be done. The Falcon Hit could do the Middle Kefka's Tower, he could do the Opera House Dragon, he could do the Tritok Dragon, and the Tritok spot and the Ice Dragon. There's a lot of things that Falcon Hit can do fairly quickly that Golden Shocker's already done. Golden Shocker, meanwhile, going through, just taking a quick peek at what Espers he's picked up recently. We see some Merton in there. A little bit late to the party, I think, but we are about to fight a dragon, so that's 50 magic points right there. And we'll see where Golden Shocker goes, because these two checks from Doma, excuse me, not from Doma, from Zozo, Cyan Zozo, will allow him to get to 22, get the skip, and then be headed into the tower. At probably about the hour and 1 minute mark, I would say, which is
just over an hour.
Exceptional.
Yeah. So, like, a little unfortunate that we never saw a glowing stick. And I mean, I guess it's not too late. This dragon can drop one, no problem. There could also be one at the end of this. And I think actually spiking an Illumina at the end of this would be probably the best case scenario for Golden Shocker. In any event, yeah, gonna get through this dragon, no problem. Probably not going to have any difficulties with the tower or with the climb. I would love to see him go back to Narsh and pick up snipers and an offering, but I don't think that's going to happen at this point. And it's hard to blame him. You've got a Celeste that's just doing monster damage with Fire 3. So, yeah, the temptation to go is just going to be there. Falcon Hit clearing out Atma Weapon. We'll see what he does. He's probably going to wind up taking a dragon. His levels are fine, but again, he's probably going to be looking to spike a sword as well. And so he's going to be looking at a dragon probably to get his levels up and hopefully get a shiny piece of gear.
Yeah, I wonder actually if seeing Merton on that Esper, and I don't know Falcon Hit's gear situation, if that might drive him to do 2 dragons. get to skip, do a couple things, learn Merton on at least one person, because that can also be the healing if we have a flame shield or two. But we do pick up Mute on Golden Shocker's side. One thing we have, well, there's the Illumina.
There's
That
the
is
Illumina.
that's a thing, and that lock just suddenly got unbelievably angry. I wonder
now if there's a second one.
him.
If there's a second one, we have a Genji glove.
True.
So let's go. Okay, never lucky.
Oh, he's getting double skipped though. That's not a thing.
The double skip.
But yeah, that's going to push Golden Shocker pretty much over the finish line. It's been a wonderful exhibition as far as two fantastic runners getting through this. But that Illumina on top of the EXP egg, it took a while to get there. But that is going to allow Golden Shocker to just chew through a lot of what is remaining in the seed. On top of that, there's just not a lot left boss-wise that is really going to pose too much of a problem.
Level 60 with a gauntlet and an Atlas armlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, this lock is going to shred.
That might be excessive. I don't know that gauntlet is needed with level 60 and an Atlas armlet. To be completely honest, I don't know the math.
This will max out his damage. I don't think it maxes out without the gauntlet, but also you're not actually getting a whole lot out of it relative to just putting a force shield or something on him.
Yeah. Either way,
regardless. Celeste was taking a nap there. That was funny. Okay, so this is the power of the skip. Normally, you have to land in Kefka's tower. There's about a 5-minute walking sequence altogether between all three of your parties where you hit some switches and clear some obstacles for your other party members to move up. Your third party also has a boss to deal with, but with the skip, you get to miss all of that. And unfortunately, we fight the most fearsome beast that you could possibly find, and it's a snail.
Grew.
It is possible that Golden Chakra gets brewed here.
No. That Terra is accidentally hitting for 3,000 with an Aura Lance.
Yeah, I didn't think that Terra was actually doing that much, but I think she is like level 40 something, so okay.
Yeah. Three more Gigantos than you find in the average seed. Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that's a level 50 Terra just by accident. That's non-XP egg at any point in the game. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be upset about that, right? At all.
Oh, and we get Overcast from Falcon Hits.
Oh my gosh! As if this lock wasn't powerful enough already, he can equip the Snow Muffler. What a champion!
This is not the fight, though.
Yeah, this is a really unfortunate fight, but I mean, you're one-shotting all the tentacles.
Well,
and you're probably
get seized, which was good.
Yeah.
Okay. Really good RNG on the tentacle fight, honestly, for Golden Shocker.
Oh, yeah. So having these tentacles turn around to expose their back is just icing on the cake. I don't even think it matters.
Oh no, lock got slowed. And...
yeah, it didn't even matter. Yeah, so at this point, the only thing that kills him is level 5 Doom.
Yeah. We haven't seen Doomgaze. We've seen just about everything else that's brewed. We just saw so many thick, angry bosses early on.
Yeah,
and
but there's nothing left here. What is the boss on the right? What haven't we seen? I think it's gonna be Fish.
That would be funny. But meanwhile, Falcon Hit, despite all of the trials and tribulations that he has faced in this seed, having a much less clean, route through than Golden Shocker, and having to to really think a lot more about how to go through this. He's there just 2 fights behind Golden Shocker, basically. Really a testament to, how good Falcon Hit is. 12-ish levels behind, it would appear. So that's definitely going to make a big difference. So, this is still absolutely Golden Shocker's race to lose. But Falcon Hit is doing his darndest to keep it close. And, again, just a testament to how good he is. And there's a reason these two are your showcase runners for the Season 7 preview.
Good.
They are extremely good. You yourself are exceptionally good. And
they outclass
nicest
me.
way. And yes, they outclass you. They do a number to me, by God. But yeah, they're just two of the best in the business, and it's a pleasure to get to watch them.
That is a Magitech Cyan. What a seed this has been. My goodness.
Okay, I have a question. Do you take that Cyan into the final fight just off the merit of Magitech?
No, because his magic stat, I guarantee you, is like 23.
That's a high roll.
So if we had seen Cyan a lot earlier and we were able to put the magic power Esper on him, it's definitely worth consideration. Because at that point, you get him up to like 40 something magic power. His tech missiles hit for respectable damage. Yeah, I'd be happy for that. But here, his only use would basically be heal force, which heals for gobs of HP, even with no magic power characters.
Yeah, I mean, it would also have use of Exfer, but I think we have Doom anyway, so a lot less important. I think we have Break.
Yeah, we have Break, we have Doom.
I don't know what our Esper situation is, but I think we learned Mute at some point. I know we have Fenrir and Golem, so there's a lot going on, but we'll kind of explain through each phase of Kefka. This is the big bad final boss coming up. Switches at 106.20 for Golden Shocker.
Yeah, get your guesses in for how long this is going to take, because I think that this is going to be about a 7.5 minute climb.
Ooh, dang! I was going to say 114.55. Now that's like right on your number.
Yeah. Okay, so Tier 1 of Final Kefka. There are 3 parts to it. He's got 2 arms and a head. The long arm, which is the arm that is long, is vulnerable to instant death. Golden Shocker gets the instant death immediately. The head has to die next.
Well, not with these HP totals, but the head's supposed to die next.
I guess with these HP totals, it kind of doesn't matter, but you might as well just do this for completeness sake. The reason why you want the head to die first is because if it dies last, it casts Quake on your party.
Yeah.
Looks like the head is dead.
Secondly, it tried to cast Dread there, which is a bit spooky. Dread is just turn your party member to stone. Have a nice day. So that was a good dodge by Setzer, and that was a very fast Tier 1 by Golden Shocker as well. I think Locke took 0 damage despite attacking the short arm 3 times. Dodging, and also, even if he got hit, it doesn't matter. He has a snow muffler on in the back row. He's going to take piddly amounts of damage.
Yeah, in the hundreds and not a couple thousand like everyone else would take.
Tier 2, take it.
Oh, yeah, Tier 2. This is probably, like, the busiest tier. So starting from, like, top right, I guess, the big blue man. That man is hit. He hits. He's sitting on a dude called Tiger. He tigers. And by tigers, I mean he hits you with all kinds of annoying stuff. He can turn your party, or he can turn characters into zombies. He can freeze your party, which is supremely annoying. He can cast Flare Star on your party, which in this case doesn't really do anything, but yeah. Anyway, behind the blue man, you see a lady in red. That's my girlfriend. I mean, that's Tools. She is vulnerable to instant death. She can also cast a lot of like tech magic, so diffuser. She can cast, what's the one that petrifies you? The one that can't miss. Delta hit. Thank you very much. And the guy in the back is Magic. Magic is susceptible to mute. and Mute never goes away. So until he dies, nothing happens, and that was him dying with that quarter cast.
Yeah, and the thing about that quarter cast, we saw Golden Shocker go after that magic pretty early on there. So it looks like he is going to take the approach of, I want to be able to heal going into tier 3 as opposed to, dealing with whatever else I have to deal with. And I think we are going to use one of our calmness protections here. It might have been
look like it.
queued. I guess it doesn't matter. Terra's not taking any damage, so we're fine. But I think we did have Fenrir and Golem, but we have switches at 110.30 for Falcon hit as well. So just about, 4 minutes behind?
Yeah, just about. And then, so that was a very, very rapid tier 2.
Yes.
Like so the thing with tier 2 is that if you're missing any of the pieces, if you're missing the instant death, if you're missing Mute especially, that phase can get a lot more drawn out, especially with Magic, because he just casts so many stupid things. But tier 3, a lot simpler by comparison. There's only 2 targets here. You've got the floating girl head. That is, I think, just called Girl. She has 9,999 HP and absorbs every element. She dies in one hit to Illumina.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to say about this lock. It kind of doesn't. It doesn't matter. The trick with Rest, who is the other target there, is that he's got 40,000 HP. And once you bring him to 10,000 HP or less, he starts countering with things like Train, which sets Blind and Mute on your entire party. And Meteo, which does like 1,400 damage to your whole party, but is pretty inaccurate. So, and then when he dies, he casts Calmness, which is an instant death move, but it's unique in that it checks against physical evasion. And so that's why you see him cast Fenrir there, in order to set the image status to make Calmness miss. And those are the tiers. The only thing left now is Final Kefka. And Final Kefka has 62,000 HP. He will cast Ultima as a counter once he gets below 10,000 HP. It is actually possible that we see it, but it is equally possible and way... it's way more likely that we just kill him within like 30 seconds here.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some lock swings. I think we're going to see some shield breaks. We might still see Fallen One, because I don't know that we can actually push the damage with people trained.
Yeah, and we can't. Locke doesn't care about that. The Illumina will always hit, regardless of enemy status. But you need to do a bunch of damage in phase 1 in order to skip that. So you want to be a little careful so that Locke doesn't die to Ultima, but with this elixir, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's 6,000 HP back on that Locke.
Yeah, like basically nothing can kill him. Hyperdrive doesn't do it. A Havoc Wing doesn't do it. An Ultima doesn't do it. Not even a single target Ultima.
Yeah, it would be funny to see him get Havoc Winged here, because it would do like 300 damage, I think.
Yeah.
That might just kill there.
And there's the crack pal. So 113.58 for Golden Shocker.
Jeez, what a run.
Absolutely phenomenal. Official time in the race room is 14:03, or 1:14:03, pardon.
And Pero Canaries, our winner with a 1:14:30 guess, or 1:14:20, excuse me, closest in the clubhouse. But we are joined by Golden Shocker. Behold the power of the egg. GG's to you, Golden Shocker. Very, very well run.
Yeah, thank you. It didn't feel that way for the first half of that seed. The way that I struggled with Fumbaba and I mean, I could have broke a shield and I could have got through so much of that so much easier. Thank you. I wish I could have some of that back.
Well, you wound up doing great. Finding that Illumina there at the end too was just the icing on the cake, I think.
Yeah, I was chasing that the whole seed, so I was going out of my way to try to find like a VK, Illumina, an Atma weapon. Like Locke was like in his what 60?
He was level 60, and like your opening espers were just so incredibly powerful. The HP plus 100 on I think that was Fenrir, who also had Fire 3. You had a magic power esper at some point.
Yep.
Just
Plus had that the whole seed. Yep.
Yeah, just absolutely phenomenal offense all around. So
yeah, what elite river Giganta is the encounter.
Yeah, that was a hilarious elite river, and ultimately I think that was the right play for you. But I do want to point out that if you had gone to Abra, you would have been rewarded with a go-go, and you would have been fighting Katana Souls instead of Gigantoses.
Well, I mean, I didn't have anything to go with it. I found the.
Oh, you didn't want to get the snipers?
I thought about it. The whole seed, I'm like, I have the offering sitting there at Norse World of Balance, and I just was like looking for something to pair with it. I just, I couldn't make myself, do it basically. So I just like, you know what, I'm just gonna go with the wing edge and call it good.
Yeah, and you definitely made your way through that seed. We could tell that you were, aggressively hunting something for Locke to do. Because I know in seeing you run a lot of these, one of your things is, if you have good offense, if you have a stick, you don't necessarily need to hunt a second one. But I don't know that I've seen you go out of your way for 3 dragons, kind of in the way that you did in this seed, in many of them. And it was really apparent that you were gunning for something for Locke to do that was going to be impactful. So it was kind of refreshing to see that, sometimes you are in the shoes of us plebeians as well.
I think that was also very apparent when I did Zozo World of Balance, because I did Zozo World of Balance and I forgot whether there's a character Umaris check, which is why I second guessed myself after I did that, and I was like, you know what, at this point I'm at 10 espers, I might as well just go, and it'll probably get me to the 12 esper, skip worst case. So that was another little snafu that I kind of, I don't know, power overwhelming solves everything, I guess.
Yeah. Once you find an egg, within the first 5 minutes of a seed, it's even your abilities just weren't good, right? Throughout a whole seed.
Yeah.
But the egg and then finding that Fire 3 on the espers, that was just more than enough to blast your way through. And you ran into some really nasty stuff early on, so.
Yeah, I mean, Goddess, Poltergeist, the Magic Master I faded. Yeah, just a bunch of really rough checks. Not much I could have done about it either.
Yeah, you did have the egg though, which your opponent Falcon Hit did not. So your tough time was better than his tougher time. So that was a huge boon for you. Despite what were some trials and tribulations of your own, you were both put through the ringer a bit on this one. It was definitely an interesting watch, and a lot to be learned and gleaned from on this run by both of you. So as you're going into this upcoming Ultros League season, you are one of, I think in a lot of people's eyes, a favorite to be very competitive in the tippy top division, which is the Megalixir division. What would you say to folks out there though who may be coming in new to it, or who may be listening for the first time and just learning about Worlds Collide? Kind of what was your experience, on your way up to this point? Because you don't get there overnight. A lot of hard work's got to go in. But what's been your experience kind of growing within the community?
I had a weird path to get there, because I started playing free enterprise for a while, and then I kind of came into Worlds Collide. I was a little honestly intimidated by just how open it was when I started, but I think once I kind of played a little bit, I got involved in what was originally the Moogle's first tournament, which is the predecessor to the Moogle Cup. Gar remembers that quite well because he ended up winning it.
Yeah.
But that was a long, long time ago. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people that kind of helped along the way. I mean, I will say the community is just amazing when it comes to stuff like that. A lot of mentors, a lot of people that are willing to kind of go out your way and answer questions. So, you know, I've taken advantage of that and I've kind of paid it back, you know, later on as well. So I think, you know, how I got to where I'm at is really just that, you know, practicing, you know, learning, getting involved in events. You know, I think that the bar to clear to like get involved in the community is pretty low. You know, with a lot of asyncs, a lot of different like you know things that are out there in the community that allow you just have a good time and just enjoy the game. You know, it doesn't have to be as competitive as you know me and Falcon racing. You know, Mega Elixir. You know, showcase all that stuff. Like, yeah, that's cool and all, but you know, it doesn't have to be that for everybody. So I think there's a good mix in the community. A lot of people that enjoy just doing, you know, Seed of the Week or whatever the case is. So, you know, with that being said, I mean, I don't know if I exactly answer your question, Possum, but, you know, just I think you know, how much is there, all the content, all the different people, just makes this community really fun for me, and I just really enjoy it in general.
No, I think that was a phenomenal answer. Honestly, it answered to what I was asking, I feel like. So thank you very much for that insight. Uh, Again, kind of going into things, you know, for Ultros League 7, you know, I have to ask, I know this is not your personality ever, but, you know, got to try to start a little drama. Any words for your competitors out there going into Ultros League Season 7? Any bulletin board material, any shots fired, anything you'd like to say to the folks already in the community as we put on this wonderful showcase here?
I mean, I don't know if I have anything that's like bulletin board material just in general, but I think that it's going to be just an amazing season. Definitely all the people in Mega Elixir, you know, are just the top tier, the top tier. Um, Now, with that being said, I've definitely been on a little bit of a run here. So I'll make it interesting for anybody that wants to race me. There is that. That's about as bulletin board as I'm willing to go. But with that being said, I mean, you know, all jesting aside, I think that it's going to be a really tight season, just like last season, where you know I think multiple people are going to be winning every week. Uh, you know, we had what first 6 weeks we had 6 different winners in Mega Elixir last season.
Yeah, I think
It's
something like that.
yeah, it's just going to be you know everybody's going to be scratching for you know just every position they can get, just because of how tight it is. I mean, don't be surprised if you're seeing people that are pushing like 110 average coming out of Mega, because I mean that's pretty much what it's going to take to you know be competitive in the top you know 2 or 3 spots. And I mean people that are fighting for even like 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, you're probably going to need to be in that like 115 range. Be my kind of personal commentary on it. It's gonna be a dogfight.
Yeah. I will say that it is fun to watch for sure, but participating in it can be daunting. So a lot of great competition though. I personally really enjoy it, and yeah, once I de-rust, I'm coming for you.
I mean, I don't want to hear that because Gar, you're just as good as anybody else that you know, me or Falcon and Glue here too. Like, there's just so many people, and I'm not even counting. You know, that's only a third of Mega Elixir. I mean, there's still another two
Yeah.
thirds of people that are just unbelievable. So, no, I'm really looking forward to the challenge. I think that you know, it's going to be an exciting watch for everybody that kind of you know checks in on it, and really looking forward to the season in general.
Awesome. Yeah, looking forward to watching you play and playing alongside you.
Yep, same here.
All right. Any final memes that you want to hit us up with?
I will say that I did go out of the way to pet the dog there. I hope I got some credit for that on the stream.
Oh, you definitely did. I noticed, even if Possum didn't.
Yeah, I know. I was pretty proud of myself doing that.
Yeah, that's a rare dog to pet too. A lot of people pet the Interceptor in after Burning House, but
It's Mega
or
Elixir dog
not Burning
petting.
House. Sorry, Cave. Yeah.
Yeah, Mega Elixir dog petting strats. You know, that's you have to find all the dogs and know which ones are the most efficient to grab.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
No, I guess just to wrap up here, I mean, appreciate everybody putting on the race, putting on the stream, everybody that's watching. You know, thanks again, and hope everyone has a good night.
You as well. GG's again, Golden Shocker. Very well done.
Yep. Have a good one.
And with that, we are joined by Falcon Hit as well. Definitely got put into a bit of a blender with that final Kefka fight, but showed off some incredible ingenuity to get through it. GG's to you, Falcon Hit, and welcome on in.
GG. Ah, man. What visits? I kind of felt behind, so I sacked MTech and hoped that there wasn't a character at MTech 3, but there was a character at MTech 3. And I'm just like, ah, shoot.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that Go-Go would lead to something, but unfortunately that was also a dead end, so...
Hey, you and me both, buddy.
Yeah, so... definitely GG's.
Did Golden Shock have an equipment advantage, or was it just me not being patient enough?
He found an egg in Returner's hideout.
Ah, dang it. I skipped that because I was like, oh, I'll just do Phoenix Cave and, like, maybe it's, like, okay. But
Yeah.
It is what it is. There wasn't really... Did he have, like, weapons? Because I didn't find any weapons.
He found an Illumina at the very end. So at, what was it? Leet River was Cyan.
Yeah, it had to be, right? Because I knew that Amara was a dead check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyan, so he went to Zozo to wrap up because he was at 20 checks, so he went to Zozo to get 22. And yeah, the dragon there dropped the Illumina.
Ah, okay.
Also, the Leet River encounters were Gigantoses.
What? I am 1 or 2.
One.
One, but
One?
like
Okay.
it was the bee encounter, so you find 3 of them.
Okay. Well, then this like I'm actually happy about this gap because I like last location to a lot of stuff. I think I'm happy about how I played it, and that final Kefka was like incredible.
Yeah, so like he had just a supreme level advantage over you. His lock was leveled like 60.
60. It had to be like 60, right? If you encounter 3 Gigantos on Leet River because it's super late too, so they're probably dropping like 30k.
Yeah, his lock was 64k per Gigantos for lock. So
holy.
Yeah.
Nice. I think a lot of my problems in the seed came because I wasn't very patient. Because you saw my opener, right? I got to 7 really quickly, but I wasn't really equipped to fight normal mobs, right? Because it's not like you started with slots, right? So my plan was to use Wing Edge off rank and just instant death everything. But I felt like I was getting like extremely unlucky with the instant death procs. Because
I wrote that down. Like no Wing Edge procs.
Because it's supposed to be a 25% chance, right? And I felt like I like threw that thing like 16 times for 2 procs, and I'm just like
you won for 12 the second form of Senor Behemoth.
Yeah,
I think
I've noted that
like 2 for 20 on the Ralphs or Bogies or whatever they were at that encounter. It was just brutal. It was like, yep, we've all been there, but that's brutal.
Yeah, because if I like got that in 2, I would have kept like grinding because the key to this like what am I trying to say? The key to this strategy is that I had the tools to succeed in the seed, right? Because I had a Fire 3 spell and a Bolt 3 spell. And obviously, if I learned Fire 3 before Super Behemoth, I would have been chilling, right? And then if I learned Bolt 3 before the Guardian fight, which also took a ton of time, I would have been chilling. But I was just like not patient enough to like grind the overworld fights I needed to learn the spells. Because if I like learned the spells, then the overworld fights would have been worth it, right?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing too, is that Golden Shocker, he took off his Moogle charm in South Figaro basement and found magic pots. It was magic.
Is that good or bad? Do they have a lot of
Well,
HP? I can't remember.
They don't have a lot of HP, and then they give like a ton of magic points. So he just learned Fire 3 like right off the rip.
Ooh, yeah.
He
I
didn't
know
give
that
me
they give
level,
like 25, right? But they don't give experience.
Right, no, they don't give experience. So his next encounter was Great Behemoth Vector Evil Oscar, and he just sketched the behemoth and got meteor procs until he died. So
makes sense.
like it took a little bit, but it was fine.
That fight is kind of scary.
It's a little sketch, but he also wasn't as scaled up as you, so like it was a little better for him.
That makes sense. I got to 7 so fast. Like when I do this route, I expect like at least one dead check. I got 0 dead checks. I was just like, oh shoot. So I had to like skip weapon shop. And honestly, if I went to weapon shop, it would have been like super good for me because I would have gotten the flame shield. And I would have just broke the flame shield on Super Behemoth.
Oh yeah.
Because it was just like that, you just do it, right? Because it's like the difference between 3 minutes and what 45 seconds.
Yeah, it would have been a pretty significant time save too.
But
the only real argument against it is that so you found the ice shield. There was a flame shield there too, so like you could start thinking about Merton. And like I think there were 2 espers that actually had it, but I don't think you found them until like way late.
Yeah, I was like, there's like an alternate reality where I have like the flame shield and the ice shield, and then I'm learning Merton, and then I steal the red jacket off of Poltergeist. Yeah, and then I'm just like, oh, maybe there's this like alternate universe where I have Merton and I'm just like Mertoning everything, because Merton would have like solved all my problems, right?
I mean, Merton solves all of mine.
True.
Yeah, I think the gear definitely was there because you found Goddess. You could steal the Minerva from Goddess.
Oh yeah, because I did that. I totally did that.
Yeah, there was also a Minerva from the Opera House Dragon, if I remember correctly.
Yes. And
then yeah, Flame Shield, Ice Shield. If you really wanted a red jacket, you can grab it. But yeah, like it was all there, but I don't think you got the Merton Espers until.
Nah, I think I had the Merton Esper, but I already like threw my shield for speed, right? Because
yeah,
I was like, I could stay here for like 4 minutes, or I can just throw the shield and be done with this fight. And I was like, I just want to be done with this fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a seed of what ifs, right? There's definitely a way for me with my route to get like very close to Golden Shocker's time.
Yeah, and again, I think the bulk of it was just he found the egg and you didn't. He found the multiple Gigantoses and you didn't.
Multiple Gigantos. Oh, also, I was like, this Gogo is really good if the 6th character is really bad, and it was kind of bad. It was like, well, you know where it was. It was like Lee River. So I was like, maybe there's a chance.
Yeah, it was a Cyan with Magitech, so. Like, you can use it, like even if it's just nothing but heal force, but like it's not really where you want to be.
Oh, also, can I complain about the abilities on my characters? They are completely worthless. Steal was my best ability because I stole like 6 elixirs off of Final Kefka.
Yeah, that steal put in work for you that seed. So
man, I love these seeds where you have like 0 healing on your espers, so you're just like, how am I gonna get healing? I'll just steal it from Final Kefka. And I stole 6 elixirs. I stole the Mega Elixir.
And you still cast Drain. You cast Drain.
Yeah, I cast Drain because I didn't want to use my freaking healing. I was like, man, this Drain spell is probably good here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was surprisingly beefy, like 2K.
Yeah, it was 2K, but it was just like there was also Celeste who had the Magic Esper on her.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was kind of a weird seed as far as like the things that you wanted just never showed up.
I think if I was more patient, I would have ended with Merton.
Yeah, and then like that was the other thing too is that like You just kind of have to lean into the magic there, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Like, what am I doing? Yeah, you
Yeah.
saw how long the Super Behemoth fight took doing 400 damage with Wing Edge offering.
Yeah, that was just super unfortunate. But I mean, that's the Worlds Collide math for you.
Yeah, I was like, man, I could like finish this fight because the second part would have been super easy. Well, in quotation marks.
Yeah.
But like, I know I'm gonna sit here for like 3 minutes just tossing this thing because the animation time too, right?
Well, I don't have anything else for you. Possum, what else you got?
The only thing I've got is kind of the same question I asked Golden Shocker. I'll ask of you as well, Falcon Hit. Is going into season 7 of Ultros League, if there's any bulletin board material that you have for folks coming to get the title from you, or if you'd prefer, we'll give you an out here. If you'd like to talk about, what if someone's watching for the first time and they want to get into the game, what would your recommendation be for them? Give you both sides of that, whichever one you want to take.
To my Mega Elixir opponents, come for the crown. To anybody that's
I'm coming.
To anybody who wants to pick up this game, it's a lot of fun. I've spent so much time on this game. It's complex and yeah, I don't know. There's just like these seeds where you're just killing everything, and then there's seeds like this where your final Kefka is just a mess, and both of those are extremely fun. So figuring out how to beat a seed like in a fun way is really great. And I'm glad that I played this game.
Appreciate that on both fronts, giving 2 answers. That's more than we get out of most folks on the bulletin board material. So definitely appreciate that. We won't keep you here too much longer. So GG's again, and any final thoughts on the seed or the rando itself?
I wish I played the seed better. I'm still extremely rusty. But hopefully at the start of Ultros League, the rust will be off, and I'll be like averaging sub 110. That's always my goal in Ultros League, so averaging a sub 110. I don't think I've ever reached it. I've gotten close.
Yeah, you've gotten close. We're all around mostly the same times. Sub 110's hard though.
Yeah, sometimes there's a week where you get like the 120 or like a 125, and you're just like, my time average.
Yeah, but that's just the way it is sometimes, Well, thank you very much, and GG's once again on your race.
GG.
All right, folks. Well, thank you first and foremost, as we wrap up here, to our friends at RPG Limit Break for allowing us to put on this here exhibition, showing off 2 of the best in the business for this Ultros League Season 7 preview. It's been an absolute blast. Again, go to the website to pick up our Discord. You can go to ff6worldscollide.com, find our Discord there, find anything that you would like in the way of seeds to generate, all the information you can think of if you want to, head on in and join the party. It's a lot of fun, and most of us don't bite, so we'd be more than happy to have you here. Drinks Glue, thank you so much for doing all the behind-the-scenes work. Our runners, of course, Falcon Hit and Golden Shocker, for putting on one heck of a show. And Gar, my co-commentator, the man, the myth, the legend, welcome back to the booth, buddy. It's a pleasure to have you here. I'm going to let you take us away, my friend.
I would be happy to do that. So yeah, once again, that website is ff6worldscollide.com. Links to everywhere are there at that URL. So go check us out. It's a lot of fun. I will echo the thanks to all of our participants. Falcon Hit and Golden Shocker putting on a fantastic race. RPG Limit Break, thank you for allowing us to use a couple hours of your air. To Drinks Glue, pushing all the buttons behind the scenes. Thanks, buddy. And yeah, Possum, it is always a pleasure to do comms with you. Really appreciate it. And yeah, with that, that is going to be the end of our stream tonight. Thank you all very, very much for watching. We hope you have a great evening, and we'll catch you next time.